you know, in North Carolina.
Yeah.
And some kind of residual from that.
Rain
Okay.
and rain and rain.
Yeah, and rain and more rain.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the RV Women Hangout. I'm RV Lady, and I'm joined by Buffy Crumlick and Nana's Joy. And I forgot to turn off the sound on my other window, even though I reminded everybody else to do that. Oh, shoot. And there we go. And so now I have done that, I can go back over here.
There's Betty. Hi, Betty.
Hey, Betty. Okay, are you the one that's having trouble with the staying online? I've had a couple of people make that comment about staying online, or you know, you get booted off or whatever. And
hi, Lori.
I think it's everybody's individual. Oh, Lori's definitely one. Let's see what happens, Lori. I was just saying that people have complained, like it's me, like I'm doing it. No, it's not me. You know, people are getting, and I'm telling you, and I've said this, you know, the accountability thing, even though this is not our subject, that nobody polices internet companies. There's nobody policing them. It's their responsibility to make sure that you're actually getting what you pay for. It is you. It is not me.
Oh, it's all your fault.
yeah, everything's my fault. Yeah, they sign you up. It's like I asked my son-in-law because I was last week. Hi, Tony. Last week I was at, I was doing the RV Women Hangout from their internet connection, which interestingly enough, I did a speed test on it. And speed test, if you don't know what speed test is, speed test tests your internet connection and tells you how many megabytes per second you have on your internet connection. Okay, I tested theirs. Speedtest.net could not authenticate that there was actually an internet connection. That's how bad their internet is. And they're paying $60 a month. Oh my God. Hi, Dreamin' of RVing. Anyway, our subject is going to be today, now that we all know that Florida is going to be washed away with this next, you know, hurricane. Sorry, Nana's Joy. Honestly, where do you think the best place to winter in an RV is? And, you know, let's take into consideration cost, any kind of area attractions, any kind of, you know, the weather. What else is there to take into account? The kind of RVing available to you. You know, are you this far from your neighbor, or, you know, do they have nice big spaces and utilities and things like that? I have wintered unsuccessfully in Florida and really don't have any desire to ever go back there again, unless I'm on an airplane. As I was saying before the RV Women Hangout started, I will never travel, and never say never, I never say never, but travel in the RV east of the Rockies again. No, not going to do it. I'll fly, but you know, and rent a car once I get there. Wide open spaces. Now, where are those wide open spaces for winter? You know, there's a lot of wide open spaces, especially in the West, but, you know, 80% of it is, you know, you're hip deep in snow.
Price-wise, I think it would be southwest.
Yeah, I would have to. I have a spreadsheet which tracks 70 plus minus 5 degrees all year. I don't know what that means. I mean, I know what a spreadsheet is. So. 70 plus, oh, to minus 5 degrees all year. Okay. Arizona, BLM land. Okay. Is there any particular spot, don't say quartzite, that you find appealing in Arizona? Because to me, all of Arizona looks pretty much the same. Yeah, it all looks pretty much the same. You know, there's a lot of open space in Southern California, lots of it. And it all looks different. You can actually be in the mountains, like from where I am right now. Where I am right now, I can be in the mountains 5,000 feet. I'm at sea level right now. I made a video earlier and posted it to remind everybody about the RV Women Hangout. And the place that I'm at the beach is called Cardiff by the Sea. And very beautiful, except where they're doing something construction-y. But I can be at 5,000 feet in under an hour. I can be higher than that in 2.5 hours. I can be at 8,000 feet, 9,000 feet, where people go skiing. And then I can be, yeah, in 2.5 hours. I can be in the desert and this is RV speed, by the way. This is not, you know, car speed. I can be in the desert, the high desert, in an hour and a half, the low desert which is sea level again, in 2 hours. So, and that's in San Diego County without leaving San Diego County. I haven't been yet. The whole West will be new territory for me. Want to hit all the national parks out that way. Hey, national parks, muy importante, they do have length limits. Some of the national parks will not accommodate anything over, I think it's 27 feet, might be 28. Doesn't include your toe. And also the thing about national parks, at least in California, is that they have low hanging branches, lots of them, and they are scary. But make sure if you're doing the national parks that you're really aware of what the regulations are for the campgrounds that you want to go to. Yosemite has a lot of rules. In case you want to do Yosemite, they're like rule central.
Panzer wants you to send her a link.
Okay. I don't know who Panzer SS is.
Female Panzer?
I have never heard of Panzer SS.
And this other one, which, if you're male, we do not allow you on here.
Yeah. And see, and if I don't recognize your handle, you're not getting on either. Because I'm assuming you're male. It's just, you know, I have never seen you here on the Hangout before. Drop URL Hangout, please. Okay, I have no idea what that means. We just sold the Airstream 20-foot dolphin. Yeah, you got it. Class C. Yeah, a dolphin is a good size for all of the parks. And speaking of national parks, and it may be too late, not really sure, if you are over 62 years old right now, or it may have passed, not really sure.
It's passed.
Yeah, the lifetime pass was like $60 and now it's like $100 and something a year. I can
No, it
share
used to be $10 and it went up to $80.
a year or lifetime.
Lifetime.
Oh, I would buy lifetime for $80. Totally worth it. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so besides Arizona, I just got out of the water. I just kind of spritzed off a little because I realized that the sun was kind of dropping in the sky, and I was like, oh my God, what time is it? Yep, it passed.
You've been out to Havasu. Isn't that pretty nice out there?
Havasu is okay. I haven't been there in years. I'll tell you what's really beautiful is Death Valley, but of course you only go there in the winter or spring. Well, in the spring. I wouldn't even go there in the winter. Is the water cold? 67, 68 degrees. I don't find that cold. I find that perfect. It's, you know, it's like no matter where I went in North Carolina, the water was always like bath water, not refreshing. And so I like the water to be really, really refreshing. I like that. Oh, yeah. And for a second, then you're like over it and it feels great. The other thing that I like about going in the ocean is how therapeutic it is. The reason I was really made it a point to come today and go in is because my joints hurt. And so I did that. And oh, of course, the other thing that I did was I've really been lax on taking my calcium. And I take about, I don't know, between 2,000 and 2,500 milligrams of calcium a day. And then cold water, very good for, you know, bones, skin, circulation, etc. But I like the water to be kind of cold. I've actually gone in when it is like 50 degrees, you know, not for long, but I've gone in. It is a beautiful place. The rarity now of California beaches allowing dogs to be leashed and cruising on the beach. You know, there are 3 locations in San Diego County where you can take a dog on the beach, leashed, and pick up their poop. But all the other beaches are no, and they write you a ticket, and the ticket's like $180 or some ridiculous amount of money. See, I like that. I was just reading Tony's comment about in Maine, the water's so cold it sucks the air out of you. I love that. I love that. And then you get out and it's like, you know, you wrap up in a towel, and I love that. But there was one year, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, that for an entire year, I came to the beach and went into the water every day for an entire year. I didn't, you know, obviously when it was nice, I stayed in the water. But we're talking, you know, December, January, February. The water's cold. And the Pacific's cold. You know, it's not like the Atlantic. The Atlantic is warm. The Pacific is quite cold. And I suppose if it wasn't, we would have hurricanes here. But because the water's so cold, it won't support hurricane winds or that action, whatever it takes to do that.
Buffy, I see lips moving, but we can't hear you.
She's muted.
Because I had myself muted because the dog started barking.
Oh.
And then I was counting. I've got this job I'm working on that I have to have done before Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no pressure.
Yeah.
It's September. But you know, other than the Southwest, you know, where else, or Arizona specifically, I don't hear about a lot of RVers coming to California. The winds used to spend some time at Joshua Tree, which is in Riverside County, I want to say. Could be in San Bernardino, I'm not really sure. And Joshua Tree is a beautiful place, you know, big flat desert. And it has Joshua trees, which are a cactus. some people just ooh and ah over them. They just look like an ugly cactus to me. But the nice thing about the Joshua Tree area is it's immense. And you really have to, if you want to be alone, absolutely no problem. There was a show called Breaking Bad. I don't remember what channel it was on, but that was where those guys went to cook meth in the RV. It was out there at Joshua Tree. But there are a lot of places to get lost. There is no cell signal. There's no internet, obviously. And you really, really, really want to have to be alone and drive a long way for supplies or water, because there's none of that there either. In San Diego County, it's never very far. You're never very far from water. What about some of the southern states? Well, you know, I did, before I went to, hi everybody, only on here for a short time watching the grandbaby this evening. And how old is grandbaby? I was kind of trying to watch mine last night. He was just having no part of it. Yeah, I was on, I did Texas, I did Mustang Island, I think it's called, and then, which is out in the Outer Banks of Texas, if you will. And what's that called? Padre Island.
Yeah.
19 months, so much fun. Yeah.
I would do the valley. I would go on the valley down there.
Where's the valley?
It's west of Brownsville.
Oh, just west of Brownsville? So it's called like Big Bend, the Big Bend area?
It's called the valley along the Rio Grande. That's like, that's the most populated for RVs.
Oh, I didn't know that. I
That's
didn't know
where
that.
my folks used to go.
Oh, well, the reason that I was even in Texas was because I was going to cross into Mexico and go down to the Yucatan. But then, you know, they blew up Paris. So, yeah, pretty much ended that dream. But one of these days, I will do that. Not in this RV, but, you know, I will definitely do that. Valley is long, the tip down to the bottom of Texas. The valley is the long tip. Okay. Okay, I guess I really need to see a map of Texas. There is an area called Big Bend, B-E-N-D. Anybody ever been there? It looks really beautiful.
It's the Harlingen, San Benito, Mission area.
You can also get land by the Rio Grande pretty cheaply. Like to buy? That's interesting. Is it all just sand and desert? Is it like upper desert?
It's green. It's greener down there.
It's greener. Kipper. Hi. Yeah, I really wouldn't mind going to Big Bend. And the next time I'm planning my definitely going to Mexico trip, not in this RV, I'm going to do that route. I'm going to go and, you know, bend or, you know, hit the coastline of, or the border of Texas, Mexico, and do that. And that goes into that Big Bend, whatever it is, national park or reserve or preserve or whatever it is. Because that looks really beautiful to me. But I've only seen it from like pictures, and you know how they try to sell stuff and they show you the best parts and stuff like that. It's west in the Big Dip area of Texas on border. It's rocky desert mountains. Yeah, I like that. Very cool. No internet, no cell. Yeah, I love that. No internet, no cell. What's up with this? We've had internet for how long? I mean, I'm not talking dial-up years. I'm talking Okay, my daughter's 30. So I'm going to say 30 years we've had internet. At least I've had internet for 30 years. You know, dial up and then on to whatever else there
I
was.
was talking
But
to
you
my,
really,
you want to feel real old. I was talking to my grandson who informed me that, and he's a freshman in high school, that he got his first book issued to him ever in school. Everything is always on the computer.
yeah. You know what's really fascinating is over the last, okay, now as Joy knows that I do this, there is a YouTube channel called Suspicious Observer. Weird name, cool channel. What he is kind of like a, he's like a weatherman for the sun. Let's call him that. And okay. And what he does is he watches the sun, and then he talks to you about it on YouTube. It takes, you know, it's like 3-minute chats, videos. And the last couple of days, and one is actually supposed to hit now, pretty soon, is these coronal ejection, CMEs, coronal mass ejections. And that's when a big blast of the sun rips away from the sun and heads out to the planets. Now, we have a couple of them coming our way today and tomorrow, big ones. And like he has, you know, green means everything's cool, and yellow, and then, you know, how it escalates up to red. Well, it's in the red. It's in the red for the next 2 days. And these, what it does is it smacks into the earth, goes around the earth, and our magnetic, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that Ben's not hearing me do this. The shield that goes around the earth deflects much of it, but some of it gets through, and that would be the colors that you see, the aurora borealis. That's all these sunspot things. The interesting thing about this is they can take down the power grid, overload it. You know, they just overload everything. Trying to chat, but internet keeps dropping me. See, hi Pamela. I'm so glad that you're here. I know she sent me a comment, whatever. I'm glad to know that she's safe. Pamela Girlfish lives in Galveston, that was hit very hard by whatever this last one was. Harvey. Yeah, whatever. And so I was glad to know that she was safe. When she sent me a comment, I was like, oh, okay, you're fine. I'm curious to know whether she got back into her place or whatever, but she can probably talk about the wonderful aspects of her area for wintering. But that's not a bad idea. That, you know, the problem that I had with Texas, where I was, which was on the, God, what's it called again? Padre Island area. Okay, I call, you know, to me, those are all banks that are out there. Just south of, I guess that would be south. Yeah, just south of Blood. What is it? Corpus Christi.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the area that I was in, whatever it was, 2 years ago. And the problem that I had with that area, the time of year that I was there, which was like November, December, the mosquitoes, my God, they're enormous. You walk through the grass, any grass, and the mosquitoes are on you. And I'm telling you, they're taking a half a pint at a time. And mosquitoes don't really like me. But it was bad. Been sick. too long. Gave me new antibiotic today. Pamela, Pamela Girlfish, were you sick because of the hurricane stuff? The contaminants and all that? Did you bug out or did you stay? I was going to do some hurricane videos, but been too sick. Yeah, I'm telling you, the mosquitoes are horrible. And for that reason alone, yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm so picky. You know, I want to go someplace where there's no bugs, where there's no humidity. What is it that you have, Pamela Girlfish? And is it something that you picked up? It's cool. Oh, okay. Where's the only? One of these days, I am going to figure out how to like map everybody. You know, where everybody is and then have a map. And then everybody has a little dot as to where they are in the United States or beyond. I'm here. I've missed you, Pookie. Oh, somebody called me. Are you calling me Pookie? That's like adorable.
They want you to drop the euro like we did when we got all the penises.
Is that what that's about?
They want you to drop the thing so everybody can get on.
Oh, yeah, that's not going to happen. No, not going to happen. Ever. Ever again. And I didn't even follow up. I didn't even follow up to make sure, because I filed a complaint with YouTube / Google. And never heard from them, never heard. I have no idea if those guys are still on or whatever. But according to the information that you sign or, you know, agree to when you do YouTube, is you agree that you're not going to do that. And, you know, obviously I understand why the advertisers are dropping YouTube like a hot potato, because they don't really mean it. And I think they should mean it. Okay. Pamela Girlfish is a fisher woman. She hauls in like redfish and, okay, redfish. I don't know what else because I don't know my fish. But she takes her kayak and her equipment and goes out there. I think she's like a professional fishing person. And if she's not, she certainly should be. She should get some kind of sponsorship from somewhere. And she makes it look like fun. To the point where, yeah, I'm kind of thinking maybe that might be fun for me. But I'm going to do catch and release, and I just can't bring myself to hook something and then cause it that torture pain and then just like let it go like, oops, you know, no harm, no foul. So for myself, I just can't. I can't do that. If I was going to eat them, that would be different, but I'm not going to eat them. Happy Meal said you are in Barbados now. Are you in Barbados, Skipper? If you are, I hate you. Oh, no, I don't, because that big storm's coming through there. Oh, no, I guess it missed Barbados. Barbados is too far south. I have a sponsor if you sponsor us now. I have a few sponsors now. Yeah, spell check. It does suck. Yeah, you should get a lot of sponsors. It surprises me. And then, you know, do a big page at the end as to who your sponsors are. You know, you should get free everything. You just go out there and just pull them out one right after the other. And I know some of it's editing, but I don't think some of it is. I think you're just pulling them out one right after the other. No, I'm not. Okay. Kipper is not in Barbados. Okay, so I love her again. Yeah, and all those people. I know that some of you are familiar with Technomadia, and Oh, the winds. I don't have any idea what the winds are doing, except I know they're on a boat, and Technomatia also has a boat, and
Maybe not for long.
I'm living in my mother's basement, mooching off her Mexican. I'm not really sure what that means. Would that be Mexican food? Because I'm moving in too. God, I just can't seem to eat enough Mexican food now that I'm back here. Yeah, watch Pamela. She's so fascinating. You know, she did one on cleaning fish. You know, it takes them back to her house. Oh God. Okay, hold on, because I need to start my generator. I totally forgot I was on battery only. Hold on.
Lori, Technomatic just put out a thing saying they tied their boat up and then they drove to Melbourne to pick up their bus and they were going to book it out of there.
They left their boat in
Marathon.
Marathon Key.
Yeah.
It's the biggest island of the Keys. But still, it's in the path. So, you know, I kind of sent them a little comment, and I was kind of curious, you know, with your homeowner's insurance, you know, those little extra things that they add on, like earthquake insurance and or flood insurance and or whatever insurance that you have to pay extra for. I'm wondering on boat insurance, do you have to pay extra if you're, oh, you would know this, Nana's Joy. Do you have to pay extra if your boat is in a hurricane?
I don't get that kind of insurance. Mine's on my household insurance.
Yeah, I wonder how that works. So if your house isn't hit by a hurricane and you're in Florida, is your boat covered if it's hit by a hurricane?
Oh, that I don't know. I know the winds had to be below the 29th parallel according to their insurance, or their insurance was null and void.
Yeah. You know, I figured that there's some kind of, you know, because insurance companies are just a big, you know, we're going to screw you over thing anyway, but you have to pay us anyway. You know, but as soon as it's time to collect, it's like, yeah, get away from me. I don't know who you are, and I don't answer my phone. And apparently that's happening in Texas as we speak. The insurance companies are backing away from paying.
They do that. They did that all in Louisiana.
Yeah, they did that at Katrina. Allstate was like a huge denier. Allstate. I would never get Allstate because of that. You know, never's a long time. I know how long never is. I love Puerto Vallarta the best. You said that before. I could type it about the winds. About their insurance, the winds. They have to say, where's the 29th parallel? What's that put them at?
Panama.
Just the Bahamas.
Panama.
Oh, so they can go down to Panama, but no further?
They can't be north of there.
They can't be. Nah.
They can't be in the hurricane zone.
Oh. So where are they now? Anybody know?
Panama.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know where they were. You know, I check on them every once in a while just to see what they're doing, but you know, I don't remember a lot.
Janet's on here.
Hey, Janet, how are ya? Long time no see. Let's see. They are currently in Panama. Yeah, I thought it was interesting about Technomatia that I don't know what I would have done, honestly. I mean, you know, Marathon Key, you can't exactly pull that boat out of the water. And, you know, I know from watching the video that they said something about wanting to, you know, get one of those balls and anchor it out so that the dock doesn't beat their boat to death. But, you know, who knows? I was just kind of curious about the insurance on something like that. Guess I will log in later and watch the rerun. Cash only. How are you? Back from Mexico? I can't see or hear anything except a still video. Oh, that blows. Okay. Okay, well, I'll talk to you later. For insurance companies to design, yeah. You know, the only time that I ever filed a claim on insurance and never had any kind of argument or denial or whatever, and we're talking all aspects of insurance, was for the windshield of the RV with AAA. Yeah, they didn't even flinch. If I get dropped one more time, I'm going to have a temper tantrum just like a baby. You know what? When the internet drops me, I become insane. And it's only because, you know, I mean, just in this accumulation of people that are on this, 22 viewers, okay. How many of you are getting dropped right now by your ISP, Internet Service Provider, and they're still charging you money? And that just makes me crazy. Maybe we'll talk about that next time when we can all vent about ISPs. But okay, so we got Texas, maybe the Southwest, which includes Texas. So I haven't heard anybody raving about Florida.
I like Florida, but I think it's expensive.
I think it's really expensive. Yeah. Yeah, the average RV park, any place even considered coastal, you're looking at $2,500 a month, ish. You know, cite me if I'm wrong, Nana's Joy. You probably know more about it than I do. And then you get the monthly bill for your power. And a lot of the RV parks in Florida have meters on all of their sites so that they can charge you what you're using.
The park that I stay in charges for us, and we stay there 5 months, is $1,600 a month.
Yeah. That's like
and then we're metered for electric.
Yeah. Yeah, that's expensive. Somebody asked.
What's the $1,600 for?
That's your rent, and that's the access to all the facilities in the place.
Okay, plus electric. So it's $1,600 a month plus electric.
Correct.
Yeah.
Wow.
And electric would run, what, $75 a month-ish, depending on weather?
Depending on weather, it can go anywhere. Our highest bill was $96.
Oh, well, that's not bad.
That's insane.
$96?
Yep.
For an RV.
Yep. But you're running, you know, because I'm asthmatic, we run our air conditioning quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. But still, that's a lot of money. Florida is a sandbar. Max elevation 345 in the Panhandle and 312 on the peninsula. Yeah. California is probably about the same, $1,600 to $2,000 to $2,500. Yeah, depending on where you are, and you are this far away from your neighbor. Don't kid yourself. You open your window and you can pass coffee cups back and forth. The state park, same deal. Most of the state parks do not offer, I mean, they're expensive. I want to say they're at $55 or $60 a night at a state park. And depending on which state park no, they're pretty much all the same. Sometimes inland, you know, you can get them for like $10 cheaper a month. But they have limits, or time limit. You can only stay 14 days is the max you can stay. That's very bad.
Everything in Florida is very expensive, including homes. Like, you could buy a home, it costs you a fortune because the minute you buy the home, you are required to have all kinds of different kinds of insurances, and the taxes are exorbitant.
Let's see. My grandkids and mom have their own 3-bed house in a Dallas suburb, $4,000 a month. Yeah, but which Dallas suburb? No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I don't know anything about Dallas. You know, as far as you know, staying there, RV parks, whatever.
I price the difference between Florida and Texas. And I looked on South Padre Island, and the most expensive lot that I could find for an RV on the water, or very close to the water, was $400 a month. Compare that to $1,600 a month.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I mean, you're just parking your vehicle there. Okay, and using electricity and water and dumping your sewage. You know, to dump your sewage at a state park in Southern California, it's $15. Okay, for you to drive into a state park and dump your tanks and fill up with potable water, $15. That's insane to me. That's just insane.
Yeah. Yep. That's why I say, if you're picking out west, now the people I said that to in our park in Florida said, "Oh, you don't like it out west. It's dirty." I said, "It's the desert. That's dirt. It's not water. It's dirt. And it's what you expect out there." "Oh, it's just too dirty. I hated it."
Oh, I can't. And those are the people that, you know, they pull into an RV park and it's paved and the little guy gets in the little go-kart thing or whatever it's called and takes them to their site and helps them back in and helps them hook up. I get that. There are people who require that kind of assistance, and you know, they just have to pay for it. Then there are people that, like myself, I don't want to stay at an RV park like that ever. Please, no. It's too structured for me. It's got too many rules that end and start with no. And I just don't like that. For me personally, you know, I like the desert when it's nice. I don't enjoy the desert when it's not nice. So in the fall, the desert is very nice. In the spring, the desert is awesome. In the middle of the winter, it can snow. You know, it can get cold. And the nice thing about the desert is that for the most part, all the polluted air that's coming off Los Angeles and San Diego and whatever blows over because it's so low. It goes right over the desert. It's fabulous. So, you know, it's not that pocket. When I was driving into San Bernardino, Riverside, San Bernardino, on the, God, which highway was I on? I don't even know. Whichever one goes south. The smog. Oh my God. It was like, you know, you would see the ground and then you'd look up a little where you would expect blue, and it was blackish grayish. It was horrible. And not only that, 105 degrees. You know, the air is horrible, and no wind. It was terrible. It was really the worst part of the trip, was once I got out of the Mojave, which scared the crap out of me. But that was the worst part of the trip, was San Bernardino Rancho, or Riverside, San Bernardino, and loud. And that was the other thing that, let's see, I've been back here 10, 11, 12 days, and the noise is just, oh, it's so loud. You know, and yeah, I've been, you know, living on a farm in North Carolina where it's just dead silent. You know, you hear mice running across the leaves in the forest. But when I got out in somewhere Riverside, San Bernardino area to get fuel for the RV, I opened up the RV door and I was hit by the heat. And then it was each individual pump has a TV. So God knows you're, never without television, even when you're getting gas. And so that noise from all those TVs it was a big service station. And then they had music piped over the intercom system. And then they had somebody who was announcing stuff over that. And I was like, oh my God, this is like civilization overload that I just experienced. I mean, honest to God, I had to stop for a minute and just say, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay. It was horrible. It did snow one time, about 5 inches one winter. Kipper, you were in the Mojave Desert and you didn't come see me? No kidding. The Mojave is a really great place to go in the springtime, early spring. And when I say that, I mean February through April. And then it's no. It's just no. Yeah, I hate gas pump TV. I don't understand it. It's just commercials anyway, but everybody's so used to watching TV and watching, 4 minutes of programming and, triple that in advertising that I guess it's just what they expect or need or whatever. Oh, Fort Irwin. Yeah. That's bad. But Bakersfield air is the worst in the country. I believe that. It wouldn't surprise me at all to know that, because it's right, all the crap is blowing the stuff from the coast over and stopping right there at Bakersfield, because that's where it hits the heat. It's so cool, and then hits the heat, and you've got that stagnant air right there. It's very bad. I lived in an adobe house one summer east of Lancaster, right beside Rock Butte. Okay. Yeah, that's a nice area in there. It's very nice. It's a little high for me. It is captive advertising because you can't get away from it. And more gas stations, I notice, are taking those little things that they let the gas pump just pump by itself. They're taking those little doodads off, so you're standing there doing this the entire time and being subjected to the bombardment of whatever it is that they want you to see. It's kind of like calling any customer service place and they bombard you for 15 minutes with their advertising before somebody comes on, and then they wonder why people are so hostile to them. Or really bad, music with advertising. That's always a joy too. Okay, not that. Barstow is the armpit of America. I thought that was Cleveland, but Cleveland has kind of cleaned it up. What's really interesting about Barstow is that you come out of the Mojave Desert from any direction, and there is this town. It's just like this circle of just mega food, mega stuff. And I guess there are houses there where people live. Not really sure. I don't know where Oildale is. I've never seen a gas pump like that. That would suck. It does suck. And it's annoying. It's really annoying that they do this. Yeah, a lot of, there is something else that they're doing that too. I liked Victorville. Victorville's not bad. Yeah. And that's kind of towards the mountains more. So it's not as hideous. But yeah, it's all about the timing. It's all about the time of year. Well, I'm going to be spending the winter, obviously, here. I'm going to be in the desert. I don't expect to be out there for another either easily a month. You know, I'm not going to go out until the weather is nicer. Let's see. Well, I can hear you now. But you are glad you left the East Coast now. I think Irma is going to miss us in Florida Panhandle. Okay. I have no idea.
I'm kind of waiting to see what Florida ends up with, because it looks like they're talking about it going right up through the center of it, which is going to desolate both sides.
Oh, yeah, it would. Yeah, it would. If it went up the center. I don't really see it doing that. I see it skirting the coastline. And when I say skirting, I mean mashing it on the way, all the way up to Georgia and into the Carolinas, the Outer Banks.
I just looked at it before I got on here, and they were running it right up the center.
Oh my, that's bad. Remember, was it Homestead or Home something?
Homestead.
Homestead, yeah. It was like wiped out.
Yeah.
And that's kind of in the center. Just, just plow on the way up.
Yeah.
You think it'll turn and go left towards the Panhandle?
No, I don't think so. They're not calling for that. If it's going to do anything, it'll turn right. But
yeah,
what I've seen, what they've been running is right dead center up the center thing.
Oh God, that's gonna be so horrible. Populated cities going that way?
Yeah, Orlando.
Oh yeah, Orlando's kind of in the middle, isn't it?
Tampa's on the coast, and Jacksonville's on the coast. I mean, there's all the coastal cities. The ones on the Atlantic side will get the worst of the storm, because that's the harshest part.
Yeah, that is horrible.
Florida's just not that wide, And
it's supposed to hit Saturday?
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
They'll start getting bans tomorrow, but they'll get the eye on Saturday, I think.
But they should know tomorrow, though, more of what the direction's going to be. Isn't that what they said?
Yeah. What happened is it hasn't gone over any major land.
Right.
To knock it around. It's been over the water the whole time.
Yeah. Warm water.
Yeah.
So Savannah is under mandatory evacuation, according to Lori Smith.
And Charleston.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad I'm out of there.
Yeah. I got a lot of friends down there, and they're all hanging in there. I don't know why. Retired. They were retired. They should have got out a long time ago.
I would have taken the RV, or even left the RV and just left.
Yeah.
And just hot-footed it out of there. I would have never. It's just too powerful. There's just too many things that can go wrong you can't control.
Our landlord said she put out a thing when the landlord from the house, when you met me at that house, said, Jack and I are staying. Let God's will be done, and pray for us. And if you got generators, we'd like to borrow a couple of generators so that we can keep our freezers going. And I thought, are you freaking nuts? They're right on the canal.
Yeah. That's crazy.
It is crazy.
And then to say, okay, we're not going to do anything to save ourselves, but, if you've got generators, please come over and save us.
Yeah.
No. You're a dumbass.
Yep.
Yeah, that's just wrong. They should read. I hear a phone or something.
It's my phone. They're supposed to be answering it out there, but they're not.
Okay. Yeah, I really do not comprehend. I don't understand. This is the part that I don't understand. Somebody, a weather person, says, hey, weather's bad, you need to get out. For your own safety, get out. And then the government or whomever goes door to door, or town to town, or radio station to radio station, or TV commercial to TV commercial, whatever the case may be, and says, you know, get out. Get out, get out, get out. And then they still don't do it. I'm going to stay. I'm going to protect my stuff. And then the catastrophe, whatever it is, hits. And then they're like, FEMA, come save me. FEMA, FEMA. Government, come
They've
save me.
already said that once the hurricane starts, that there is not going to be any attempts at rescuing anyone. So if you've decided to stay, then you are just going to have to die. And they pretty much have said that. Just, you've picked your place to die.
But they don't say that. They don't say that. And what happens is people watch like this previous hurricane where the neighborhood people all came out with their boats or whatever, and they're going around and rescuing people. And that's the mistake. The message is, even if you stay, somebody will be there to save you. And if not, eventually we'll get there. And it's kind of like being in Southern California. Any person who lives in Southern California and is not prepared for, I don't know, a month of taking care of themselves and meeting their own needs after an earthquake is just stupid and needs to die. I'm sorry. They do. Because you have to do that. You know, nobody, if you think about, I mean, the biggest thing that can hit California seriously is an earthquake. And it will take out roadways. It's not like it won't temporarily take out roadways. It will take out roadways for years. And so most of the airports will be compromised. So it's not as they can fly stuff in. They can drop stuff. Oh, somebody's got their other channel audio going.
Not me.
Not me.
Not me. I don't even have the other side up, so it's not me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Do they miss the stories of people who died? You know, I don't think they really have. They don't really say, here are the dead bodies that are floating down the street because they chose not to leave. They don't show that. They just give you statistics. You know, 17 people died as a result of...
Needlessly.
Yeah. Now, they are an earthquake or North Korea for California. I'm telling you, North Korea doesn't have anything that's going to reach us.
Yes, they do.
Oh my God, we're not having this discussion again.
Now, did you see the pictures of Barbuda? They are just flat. Yeah. Absolutely flat. They said they had 4 big buildings that they were built to sustain this, and they're gone.
Oh, yeah.
Like 95% of the island is basically leveled.
Right. Which island?
Barbuda.
Yeah, Barbuda.
Barbuda?
Barbuda.
It's off of Antigua.
I've never heard of Barbuda. Oh, interesting.
Well, because it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, it's blown away.
Yeah.
The people are all standing out trying to talk to reporters have gotten over there, and they're talking to them, but everything is gone.
Yeah. Well, it's like Haiti. You know, what was it that hit Haiti? Was it an earthquake? Big earthquake? And what does everybody do? They stand around and wait for somebody to come save them.
Yep.
You know.
It's not Barbados, it's Barbudo. Budo, it's spelled that way.
People wrote, it's Barbados's brother.
Yeah.
But it's over there by St. Martin and St. Thomas, and isn't it over there?
Yeah. Oh, I know the area that it's in. It would be actually really fun to sail around all that. Not sail. And when I say sail. I don't mean sail. I mean yacht.
Deborah says friends of ours who opted to stay because they had never seen a hurricane. They were from New York. Their bodies were never found.
Yeah, good. Well,
And where did they opt to stay? Where were they? Deborah, where were they? And North Korea came up. Are you kidding me? If North Korea, and I actually don't know why North Korea continues to exist at this moment, because they fired some missile over Japan. Yeah, that would have been their last day on the planet if I was in charge. Gotta go. Great conversation. Bye.
bye.
Yeah. I mean, if I were in charge, that would have been North Korea, you know, because the accuracy of bombs today are immense. Yeah, I would have just wiped out all of North Korea. Right over. Let's move on. Yeah. It would have been, which is why I'm not in charge of the world. Piss me off, and yeah, let me send some accurate real bombs to you, and you're done. I don't know why we let this little nothing threaten us.
They know where he is. If they dropped that motherlode bomb that was over there in Afghanistan, they push him right down through the other end of the earth.
Yeah, that's fine with me. I'm okay with that. You know, it's I don't understand. In their cottage, 2 doors down from us, a half a block from the Gulf. Man, shark bait. I did live there on a boat. There are lots of islands in the Lower Antilles. I think that would be fun. Now, are all of the islands, for those of you who are familiar with that area, do they all have the mangroves? You know, are the islands like this mangrove heaven? Because I'm not in love with mangroves.
I don't know. Barbuda doesn't have a leaf on a tree out there anymore.
So, hey, I saw one of your last traveling videos. Did you make it past or into Arkansas? I did go into Arkansas. Arkansas was nice. I was really surprised. I don't know what state I'm confusing Arkansas with, and I'm pretty sure it's Nebraska, but it was really beautiful. I was shocked. Lots of lakes, lots of camping everywhere. I remember that they have rest stops or something. Oklahoma, no rest stops. Don't get that. Haiti never recovered either because the Clintons stole all of their donated relief money. Well, who knows?
I'm on mute. They did sell all of the contracts to their.
The Clintons did?
The Clintons did.
So they sold the contracts to who?
For people to go and over to Haiti and rebuild and restructure and all of that. They put these contracts out, and then people bid on them, and then they kept all that money, and Haiti didn't end up getting anything. I mean, there is some, now those aren't 100% of the facts, but there is something to that.
I just feel on facts. Okay, no mangroves, palms, and beaches and tropical forests. Yes, please. Yes, please.
Go to Hawaii.
Hawaii is fine, but you know, then there's all those people.
Not if you go to Maui or one of the not so.
No, they're all no. No matter where you go, there are people in Hawaii. Pick an island.
I loved Hawaii. Oh my gosh, I loved Maui.
You know, it's beautiful. There's no doubt about it. It is just jaw-droppingly gorgeous.
Yeah.
No matter where you go, there they are. And I need to like have time alone. And
the hell you're doing in California?
Yeah, exactly. The most populated state in our entire country.
I know. And that's what I'm saying. As a matter of fact, I was talking to this guy that I met on the beach this morning. His name was Jonathan. And he also has an Australian Shepherd. We were yakking about shepherds. But I was saying California is probably, and they're kind of transplants from someplace else. And of course, my first inclination was, please go back there. But I said to him, you know, California, still a great place, but wouldn't it be great if all these people left? Like when I came here, a transplant, whatever it was, 40 years ago. Yeah. In the area that I chose to live, there was nobody. Very few people, you know, just, it was just, my dog used to like leave the house and go down to the beach by herself. No laws, no nothing. It was fabulous. And then all these people came, and with them came all the rules. And most of those rules start with no dogs on beach, no alcohol on beach, no people on beach.
Remember that song, Signs, Signs Everywhere, Signs?
I thought that was Hair.
No.
Yes, it's from the musical Hair.
Okay, but it has to do with signs, you know, stay off the grass, all that. Yeah.
But I thought that I found an area where
no one would ever come to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
right.
I was really wrong. Anyway, it is now 5 minutes after 5, and we only do the RV Women Hangout for an hour. This has been kind of fun. And not that we stayed on topic, but, you know, if anybody's coming out to the California desert area, you know, give me a holler and let's have Mexican food.
I'll be down in the corner, remember.
I know. I'm thinking, I'm trying to see what my schedule is going to end up being. Still waiting.
So next week, let's see, next week.
Oh God. Next week
I'll still be here, and then we leave on Saturday.
Okay. Yeah. So next week, if anybody has any subject content ideas, let me know. And we are more than willing to talk about anything. Obviously, we are more than willing to talk about anything you want to talk about. As far as the RV Lady channel, I'm going to start adding commentary more so than ever. And I'm going to pick a subject and talk about it. It's going to kind of float around the concept of RVing, but you know, basically, how many times can you be shown how to empty your black tank? So there's a lot of content out there for RVers now. Not so much when I started, but now there is. And I will see y'all next week. And you can hear my commentaries in the intro. Bye. Thank you, Buffy Crumlick. Thank you, Nana.
Good night, everybody.
And good night, everyone.
Yeah,
and
goodbye, everybody.
Talk to y'all next week.
Okay.
See you on YouTube.
See ya.
Bye.